जो भी है वो हम ही ने उसे अरेस्ट करवाया है।
पर मेरे भाई को उसको इतना ज्यादा प्यार था, उस पे इतना अंधा भरोसा करता था कि उसके बगैर उसका चलता नहीं था।
है दूसरों के लिए भी, और मैं दूसरे बच्चों को ये सबक देना चाहता हूँ कि इस तरह।
On March 18th, a couple arrived at the Brahmapuri police station in Meerut. They were accompanied by their daughter, Muskan. Mr. and Mrs. Rastogi would go on to tell the police that their daughter has just killed their son-in-law and they would beg the police to arrest her. The police were taken aback. Seeing a criminal just walk in and confess was shocking. This immediately raised a lot of questions. Why did she kill her husband? Where is the body? And why are her parents openly coming up to the police and asking them to arrest her? Welcome to 3M Fear True Crime. This is a sub-series in the 3M Fear podcast. Here I'll be covering ongoing true crime cases. Today's case is one such horrifying case. The Meerut murder case. Please note that all details that are taken about this case in today's episode are from reputed sources and I will be linking them in the description. Everything in this case that happened until today, that is 24 March 2025, will be narrated in today's episode. As this case evolves, more and more details will be coming out and I will be posting them regularly on my Instagram and YouTube. Let's get started. Although this case is being heavily covered by all news portals, there are a lot of discrepancies in the way that they have been narrating. Some say that it happened one way, while the others say the other. So I'm going to tell you both sides, and the court will decide which side actually happened. On March 18th, a couple arrived at the Brahmapuri police station in Meerut. They were accompanied by their daughter, Muskan. Mr. and Mrs. Rastogi would go on to tell the police that their daughter has just killed their son-in-law and they would beg the police to arrest her. The police were taken aback. Seeing a criminal just walk in and confess was shocking. This immediately raised a lot of questions. Why did she kill her husband? Where is the body? And why are her parents openly coming up to the police and asking them to arrest her? Now, as I said before, there are two sides to the story. Some news portals say that Muskan's parents are the ones who took her to the police station. They did actually, but initially, some said that Muskan's parents were the one who told the police, and that's how the police came to know that something like this was going on. But some other sources would go on to say that it was her husband's brother who came to the house and realized that her husband was missing and then filed a missing persons complaint in the police station. And that is why the police initially found out that the husband was missing and decided to ask the wife. Now, I don't know out of the two which one is true. Did the parents go first or did the brother go first? But ultimately, both of them would end up in the same police station. The brother would end up filing a complaint, while the parents would in fact drag their daughter to the police station and tell the police that she ended up killing her husband. The police began their investigation, and this would lead them to Muskan's house. And there they would find a horrifying scene. They just realized that Muskan had indeed killed her husband, Saurabh, and he was right there in the house. As soon as the police entered Muskan's rented house, a foul smell filled the air. The officers looked around, trying to figure out where that smell was coming from. When they asked Muskan where her husband's body was, she pointed towards a blue drum in the corner of the room. It was the kind of drum used to store chemicals or paint, but in this case, it was hiding her husband. The police carefully examined the drum. The smell was unbearable, yet they could not see the body, and that was because the top of the drum had been sealed with cement. It was clear to the police that this was not something that just happened. that maybe there was a fight and Muskan ended up killing her husband. This was a planned murder. The police would call their men and they would go on to try their best to break the cement, but it was difficult and they didn't want to tamper with the body, they didn't want to tamper with the evidence, and that's why the police would then take the drum and send it to their forensic lab, where piece by piece the cement would be separated and her husband's body would be found. First they found the torso, then the severed head, the arms, and finally the palms. It was a gruesome sight. The body had been slowly decomposing in that barrel for almost 10 days. The post-mortem report would go on to say exactly what Muskan had said. Almost 10 days back, she ended up killing her husband and then dumped the body in that barrel and added cement on top so that no one would realize what actually was there inside the drum. But why? Why would someone go to such lengths in order to kill their husband? Why not just ask for divorce? This is where something surprising comes in. As the police investigated, the truth became even more disturbing. Muskan had not only acted alone, but she had an accomplice, her boyfriend Sahil. Together, they had planned and executed the murder. But this was not just a case of extramarital affair. Wife and boyfriend loved each other and wanted to get the husband out of the way. No, this also had a religious aspect to it. According to police reports, this is possibly what Muskan and Sahil did to Saurabh, the husband. They dragged his body to the bathroom. Sahil severed his head with a razor and then hacked off his hands at the wrists. No one knows exactly what they were thinking at that time, but it was said that their initial plan was to chop the body into parts and then throw those parts in different locations so that even if the police tried, they could not figure out where this body was coming from. They began by packing Saurabh's torso into a bag and then put it inside a box of their double bed. This was the exact same bed where Muskan slept that night, her husband just beneath her. Meanwhile, it was said that Sahil took the head and hands to his house for 24 hours. It was said that he wanted to perform some sort of a ritual in his house. By March 5th, both of them decided to get rid of this plan. They purchased a large blue drum and cement and then returned to Muskan's house and dumped the torso into the drum. Sahil then got the head and hands to add to the mix, and then they added the cement and dust and sealed the drum. They thought that if they did this, the police would never get to them because it was sealed with cement. Police would later find out that Sahil Shukla's room was filled with scary paintings, one featuring an alien face with cryptic dots and a phrase, quote, "You cannot trip with us," end quote. This kind of gave an idea to the police that maybe Sahil was into black magic or he was mentally unstable, because his room clearly showed what was going on in his mind. Sahil would later go on to say that his mother's spirit demanded that he sacrifice Saurabh for happiness. When it came to Muskan, some reports said that she believed in black magic, while some said that she was just messing around. But either ways, both of them had kind of a similar mindset. They both wanted to get rid of Saurabh so that they can have a better life. They also at one point believed that Saurabh's death was a means for them to come together. That is, the forces around them would bring them together and make their bond stronger if only they could get Saurabh out of the way. Now, something you should know is that Muskan and Sahil were 27 years old while Saurabh was 29 years old. So it's not like Muskan and Sahil were kids who just believed in black magic. They were grown adults and they knew what they were doing. This case shocked Meerut. No one could believe how a wife could fall into a black hole of black magic and believe it and kill her husband with the help of a lover. As of now, Muskan and Sahil are arrested and they are awaiting their trial. They are kept in separate cells even though they begged to be in the same cell together. To know how Muskan, Sahil, and Saurabh reached at this stage, let's go back to the beginning. Saurabh Rajput and Muskan Rastogi got married in 2016. Saurabh's family were not happy with this marriage. They did not like Muskan. And no matter what Saurabh did, they were not ready to accept her. So a few years after marriage, Saurabh and Muskan would decide to get their own house. That is the same rented house where Saurabh would later be murdered. Saurabh was initially working in the merchant navy, and because of that, he would not frequently come home. He would come home once in a year, and this made Muskan very unhappy. She felt alone a lot, and that's why Saurabh decided that he would give up his job just so that he could be with his family, and that's when he took a job in a bakery. Saurabh wanted to work hard so that he could financially support Muskan, but Muskan wanted more time with her husband, and he could not do that if he was still working in the merchant navy. In 2019, the couple would go on to have their daughter. Saurabh thought that now everything was perfect. They had their daughter, they had a nice happy family, they were living away from his own toxic family. What could go wrong? Muskan was still unhappy. Saurabh had even given up his career and started working in a bakery. He was working in London in a bakery, but even then, he was coming home much more often than before. But even with that, Muskan was not happy. In fact, a few years after marriage, Muskan started distancing herself from Saurabh. She wanted something more. She was not happy with the way that things were going. And this is where Sahil comes in. It was said that in 2023, facing financial difficulties, Saurabh decided to move to London to work at a bakery, while Muskan's family regularly provided her with money. His struggles with alcohol further strained their relationship. In 2025, he decided to return to India to celebrate their daughter's birthday and Muskan's birthday, which was quite close. But tensions were still there between the couple. When Saurabh returned to India in February of 2025, he was more than happy. He knew that his wife's birthday was coming up and he wanted to do something special for her. And at the same time, he was very happy to see his daughter, Pihu. Saurabh somewhere knew about Muskan and Sahil's relationship. He knew that they were old friends, they were together since college, but he didn't know the extent to which Muskan had already gone. They had a lot of fights amongst themselves, but Muskan had something else in mind. Police investigation would go on to say that Muskan and Sahil were childhood friends. It was said that someone from their batch wanted everyone to reconnect, and that's why they created a WhatsApp group and added Muskan and Sahil to it. That is when Muskan and Sahil started talking to each other and they became close. Initially, everything was just about friendship and just talking to each other, spending time with each other. But then, Sahil started dragging Muskan down with him, down the lane of substance abuse. Police would go on to say that Muskan and Sahil saw Saurabh as an obstacle to their relationship. They were so happy with each other that all they wanted to do was get rid of Saurabh. Sahil lived a very different life than Muskan. He didn't have a lot of responsibilities. He was a drug addict. He loved partying. He loved going out. So when Muskan saw Sahil and they reconnected, he kind of dragged her down with him. He showed her a life that she didn't have, and soon she started engaging in the same activities that he did. And this made her go even further away from her husband. They spent so much time together that Muskan got addicted to the same substances that Sahil was using, and soon her life completely changed. It was said that some of the neighbors thought that Muskan was trying to lose weight and trying to look good, but it was actually the substances that she was using which was causing this change in appearance. After a certain period of time, Sahil started developing feelings for Muskan. He wanted to marry her. He wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. But Muskan didn't want that. She just wanted something casual with Sahil. But he didn't know that yet. Muskan had a lot of plans for them. Now, as said, Saurabh had no idea how deep Muskan had gone. He knew that Muskan had a friend named Sahil, but he didn't know to what extent they had gone. He didn't know about the affair, he didn't know about the substance abuse, he didn't know anything. And most important of all, during this whole time, Pihu was with Muskan, and Saurabh had no idea what his daughter was being exposed to. Sahil and Muskan had already decided that they were going to get rid of Saurabh. They knew when Saurabh was about to come, and they had made a plan that they were going to execute as soon as Saurabh came. When Saurabh returned home from London, he had no idea about Muskan and Sahil's plan. He had heard from their landlord that a man named Sahil frequently visited their house, and this made him suspicious. He even spoke to Muskan, and this led to a huge fight. Saurabh accused her of having an affair, but Muskan would go on to say that there was no affair going on and they were just friends. Feeling betrayed, Saurabh became so angry that he even asked for divorce. But Muskan was not ready for it. She did not want to give a divorce. She wanted to end her husband. On February 25th, the night of her birthday, she and Sahil planned to get Saurabh drunk. She slipped something into his drink and waited for him to fall asleep. But Saurabh fought through it. In fact, he was not completely knocked out, and Muskan was afraid that if she or Sahil did something, then Saurabh might fight back and it could backfire in a very bad way. So they both decided that they would carry out this plan, but on another day. Fortunately, that night, Saurabh lived. But unfortunately, on 3rd and 4th March, Muskan and Sahil would carry out their plan, and this time it would be a success. On March 3rd, Saurabh returned home happy after meeting his mother, who had just prepared him lauki ke kofte. He got them home and he was ready for a nice dinner. That night, as Saurabh ate, Muskan would add even more pills than she had before. And this time, Saurabh could not fight back and he was knocked out. As soon as Saurabh was knocked out, she immediately called Sahil and asked him to come to the house. And Sahil soon came to the house. SP Ayush Vikram Singh would go on to say that the police visited multiple shops where Muskan purchased a knife, a drum, and medicines. A medical store owner, Amit Joshi, would go on to say that he did, in fact, sell her sleeping pills. As soon as Sahil came to the house, he found Saurabh unconscious. He and Muskan would then go on to stab Saurabh. Now, I couldn't find out who exactly started with the stabbing. Some reports say that Sahil was the one who stabbed and then Muskan, while some others would go on to say that Sahil told Muskan that she had to do the stabbing. So I'm not quite clear on that too. Sahil would later go on to say that he was doing all of this because his mother was the one who was guiding him. His mother was the one who was telling him what he had to do. We'll come to that in a minute because that is a completely different horror story in itself. Knowing that Sahil had a very strong bond with his mother, who had now passed away, Muskan used it to her benefit. It is said that Muskan pretended to be his mother and sent him WhatsApp messages, convincing him that if he truly loved her, he needed to kill Saurabh. And that's why Sahil was now doing exactly what he was doing. Muskan had been planning Saurabh's murder since 2017. It's not something that she just came up with or she just got fed up and she decided that she was going to end him. She had been planning this for a very long time, to the extent that she even tried to poison Sahil's mind. I'm not saying that Sahil is a good guy or Sahil is innocent in all of this. She did really play with his mind and got him to believe that it was his mother who wanted this to be done. With Saurabh's death, Muskan and Sahil faced their next challenge. They had to get rid of the evidence. They cleaned the crime scene using bleach and other cleaning supplies, making sure that there was no traces of blood. They then decided to dismember his body. In the bathroom, they began cutting it into smaller pieces. First, they removed his hands and then his head, believing that if there were no fingerprints and if there was no face, then it would be difficult for the police to figure out who this person was. It is said that they wrapped Saurabh's hands and his head in a bag and then Sahil took it to his house. No one knows what he did with it when it was in his house. Police would later find out all these demonic images and symbols, but to this day, no one knows what he did with those parts when he took it to his house. Remember, Muskan is still in her house, sleeping on top of Saurabh's body, which was inside her bed. Later on, Sahil would bring back the parts, and then Muskan and Sahil would end up putting them in the drum and then covering it with cement so that the smell would not go out. Now, with the murder behind them, everything done, Saurabh was out of the way, Muskan and Sahil were now free, and they decided to take a trip to Himachal Pradesh. But the first thing that they did was that Muskan went to her parents and handed Pihu over to them and asked them to look after her. She told them that she and Saurabh were going to take a trip to Himachal Pradesh, and the parents, I believe, kind of thought that this was a husband-wife trip and they wanted to be alone, so they happily took Pihu while Muskan and Sahil went for this trip. Muskan made sure that she took Saurabh's phone with her so that she could use it to make everyone believe that Saurabh was with her. After murdering Saurabh, Muskan and Sahil would travel to Himachal Pradesh by hiring a private cab, a Swift Desire. According to India Today TV, their driver Ajab Singh would go on to say that the two of them were very quiet during the trip. They hardly ever spoke, and the woman, that is Muskan, got 2 calls from her mother. He said that the way that they were in the cab, it didn't seem like 2 people who had just committed a gruesome murder. The 2 of them were very quiet but not scared. Ajab Singh also revealed an audio message from Muskan sent to him on WhatsApp. During their stay at the hotel in Shimla, Muskan asked the driver to bring a cake for Sahil's birthday. She had told Ajab that once the cake was ready, that is once he got the cake, then he had to just send her a message, not to call her, just send her a message to tell her that the cake is ready. Her audio message was something like this, quote, "Bhaiya, please bring me a cake from somewhere. Don't call me, just message me and let me know if you got it. Bring the cake to our room and say, 'This is my stuff, keep it. I'll take it tomorrow morning. That's all you have to do.'" End quote. Now, something to be noted is that on March 10th, Muskan and Sahil would check into a hotel, but they had no prior booking with the hotel. They had not done any sort of booking. They just called up the hotel one day before and asked if they had an empty room. And once the hotel confirmed, they confirmed that they were going to come and stay there the next day.
उनका मुझे कॉल आया था 10 तारीख को कि मुझे कमरा चाहिए। तो जैसे बाकी गेस्टों को जैसे उनको गाइड करते हैं जैसे, तो मिल जाएगा कमरा। फिर यहाँ पे आए, फिर उन्होंने कमरा देखा, तो उन्होंने बोला कि हमें लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए चाहिए, जैसे 1 वीक तक चाहिए। तो उन्होंने बोला कि हम लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए चाहिए, तो मैंने बोला मिल जाएगा।
While checking in, Sahil gave his ID, but Muskan, she was not ready to give her ID. The staff insisted, saying that it was important to have both IDs, and that is when Sahil said that she was his wife and that his ID was more than enough.
और रही बात उनके मतलब जो व्यवहार था, थोड़ा स्ट्रेंज था उनका, क्योंकि पहले तो आए, फिर उन्होंने कमरा देखा, फिर वापस चले गए। तो फिर 1 घंटे बाद फिर मुझे कॉल आई थी कि दोबारा मुझे वही कमरा चाहिए, तो फिर वो वापस आए थे।
During their stay, they would be consistently posting on social media. They had their holy celebration photos and videos, dancing in the nightclub, applying colors on each other. It seemed like they were a normal husband and wife having the time of their life. This wasn't Kasol. The hotel operator would later go on to say that any couple who visited Kasol for the first time would rather go out, see the scenery, enjoy their time, enjoy the nature, enjoy their time outside, do some sort of activities. But Muskan and Sahil only wanted to stay in their room. They hardly got out. The hotel operator would also go on to say that Muskan and Sahil did not allow anyone to come into their room, not even the cleaning staff. When checking out, they said that they had come from Manali and they would go back to Uttar Pradesh. Their stay would last 6 days, from March 10th to March 16th.
उनके स्टे के दौरान उन्होंने यहीं रुके थे, वो होटल में ही रुके थे, ड्राइवर भी, बट वो रूम में आना जाना नहीं था उनका कुछ भी ना, मतलब उनका सेपरेट था, तो वो जो गेस्ट थे वो रूम में ही रहते थे ज़्यादातर.
And as said, during their stay, they never went out. They never allowed housekeeping to come inside and clean their room. They only ordered food into the room and never went out to eat or see any places. They were completely isolated. They did not even talk to any of the hotel staff. Not any more than any instructions that they needed. Nothing else. Rumors would later go on to say that the couple celebrated a birthday on March 11th. But the hotel staff saw no such celebrations. No cake, no balloons, nothing. This statement kind of matches the statement of the driver who said that Muskan had told him to get a cake but not to call her, to just send her a message. On March 16th, they checked out of the hotel, and by now the police had not asked any of the hotels around there, so no one had any idea about what these two were up to. As the investigation unfolded, more and more secrets started to come out. It would later be found out that Muskan created fake IDs, fake Snapchat IDs to talk to Sahil. Muskan would go on to create a fake Snapchat ID in the name of her brother and then told Sahil that his dead mother had appeared and was connecting via her brother's ID. Muskan told Sahil that his dead mother wanted Saurabh to be killed. Now the couple were having a time of their life. The husband was out of the way, the daughter was with Muskan's parents, Muskan and Sahil were having unlimited time and fun. But not unlimited funds. Muskan soon realized that she was running out of money and she needed this money. When she tried to withdraw money from her husband's ATM, she could not do so. And that is when she decided to call up her parents and ask them for some money. Now her parents were shocked when Muskan gave a phone call because they believed that Saurabh was with Muskan. So if Saurabh was with Muskan, why was Muskan asking her parents to access Saurabh's money? Why couldn't Saurabh do it himself? On the other side, Saurabh's family were getting tensed. Saurabh had not called them in days. He would usually call his parents and his sister, but this time he hadn't. Whenever they texted him, they got a reply. Remember, Saurabh's phone was with Muskan, so they of course got a reply. But at the same time, whenever they tried to call, Saurabh never picked the call. Muskan and Sahil's charade would go on until March 17th, when Muskan would reach her house and tearfully tell her mother that she had a fight with Saurabh. She started crying and gave this whole sad story about how she got into a fight with Saurabh and now Saurabh did not want to live with her and they were separated. But Muskan's father had a few questions for her. And the more they asked, the more she answered, and the more she answered, the more she started tangling into her own lies. And that is when her parents realized that something was not right. Whatever she was telling in her story was not adding up. Some sources would say that her father even went to her house to try to talk to Saurabh, and that's when he got that foul smell. He tried to talk to the neighbors, but he didn't get any answer. Muskan kept lying until one fine day she couldn't do it anymore, and that is when she broke down and told her parents that Saurabh was dead. But she didn't tell them that she killed Saurabh. she told them that Saurabh was killed by his very own family members. According to her, his relatives had kidnapped her, they had taken to a different location, and that's where Saurabh was killed. But as I said, the more Muskan spoke, the more there were cracks in whatever she was trying to say, and the more it confused her parents, and the more it got them suspicious. Finally, Muskan realized that she had no way out, and she broke down and told the truth, how she and her boyfriend got together and killed Saurabh.
जी मेरी बेटी ने मेरे दामाद को अपने एक दोस्त के साथ मिलके अपने ही रूम में मर्डर कर दिया उसको.
Her parents would later go on to share about how they were being deceived by their very own daughter, and that when they found out what was the truth, they dragged their daughter to the police station and made her confess.
हमने कहा हम एकदम तुरंत थाने ले गए उसे 4 बजे.
अच्छा और कब कन्फेस किया था?
कल करा था 18 तारीख को.
वहाँ से लौटने के बाद
17 को आए थे वो, 18 को उसने हमारे सामने आके बताया है.
क्या बताया था आपको?
कि मम्मी ऐसे ऐसे हमने सौरभ को मार दिया है.
One good thing that came from this is that when the Rastogi family found out about their daughter's deeds, they did not try to cover it up or did not try to help her run, but in fact they took her to the police station and asked the police to punish her. Here is an interview of what the family says.
वो इस समाज के लायक नहीं है, वो खतरनाक है दूसरों के लिए भी, और मैं दूसरे बच्चों को ये सबक देना चाहता हूँ कि इस तरह का कदम नहीं उठाना चाहिए.
As said, Muskan and Sahil had been planning this for a very long time. Muskan had even gone to a shop to buy 2 large knives. When she went to the shopkeeper asked her why did she want these 2 big knives, and Muskan said that she wanted to cut meat, and that's why she wanted these 2 large knives. On February 22nd, Muskan would go to a doctor and say that she was not feeling great and she needed some medicines. She actually wanted prescription for sleeping pills, which she would later put into her husband's food. The doctor did not openly write her a prescription, and because of that, this plan of theirs failed. When the doctor refused to give her a prescription for sleeping pills, Muskan went online and started doing a Google search of what other alternatives were there for sleeping pills. When she found the alternatives, she and Sahil went looking for them. She and Sahil would go to Khair Nagar, purchasing a lethal cocktail of sleeping pills and sedatives. Their shopping didn't end there. They also bought, as I said, meat cutting knives worth 800 rupees, 300 rupees worth of razor and polythene bags. The couple initially thought that they could simply commit the murder, dispose of the body and live a happy life, because Saurabh was already having a very strained relationship with his parents. And also remember, Saurabh was working abroad. So him not replying to any calls or messages would not make them as suspicious as she thought.
पर मेरे भाई को उसको इतना ज्यादा प्यार था, उस पे इतना अंधा भरोसा करता था कि उसके बगैर उसका चलता नहीं था.
But what these two didn't know was that how could they bury or burn a body without leaving behind any trace? This is when they started asking their friends. They didn't directly go and ask them how to get rid of a body, but they hypothetically, as a joke, asked them if they had to do this, how would they do it? When some of their friends started getting worried, both of them dropped the act and stopped asking. When the 2 of them could not get any help from friends, they started talking to villagers. They didn't go to the villagers and ask them how to get rid of a body. They asked the villagers if they had to get rid of an animal's dead body, then what are the best places to get rid of them? And that's when the villagers pointed out to areas where people hardly went or where people went to burn or get rid of animal carcasses. And this gave Muskan and Sahil a great idea. But one thing that Muskan and Sahil also thought about is that because all these people know these areas, they would go to these places and they would one day find Saurabh. And that's why they got rid of this plan. When the police arrested Muskan and Sahil, it was quite clear that Sahil wanted to be more with Muskan than what Muskan wanted to be with Sahil. And of course, Sahil was involved in devil worship and black magic. As Sahil sat in the interrogation room and when he was asked why he did this, this is what he said. Quote, "If Saurabh had remained alive, my life would have been hell." End quote. Sahil always believed, or at least Muskan had made Sahil believe, that if Saurabh was alive, Sahil would never be happy. Sahil and Muskan would never be together. The autopsy report would say the exact same thing that Muskan had confessed. He was spiked, he was stabbed, and he was dismembered. Doctors would go on to say that Saurabh was stabbed in the heart with extreme force, thrice. Superintendent of Police Ayush Vikram Singh confirmed, saying, quote, "Muskan brutally stabbed Saurabh in the heart, puncturing it. His neck was severed and both palms were cut off. The body was cut up into 4 pieces to fit the drum." End quote. The police found Muskan's online chats, audio recordings, their trips, photos that were posted during the trips, whatever they had spoken with the driver, everything put together. It showed that Muskan had no remorse for what she had done. Even though the police already know everything, another key aspect is that Muskan's landlord came forward saying that Sahil would often come and he was not happy with it. In fact, the landlord had even caught them in a compromising position in 2021. Saurabh had learnt about this affair and it had created a huge fight. Their mobile phones, along with Saurabh's, had been sent for forensic analysis. Other than all the disturbing images that they found on his walls, they also found alcohol and beer bottles showing that he was not living in a very nice space. He was more of a bachelor who had a dark side to him. And of course, they found substances. Muskan's parents were devastated to find out that their daughter was using substances and she had ended her husband's life because of that. They deeply loved their son-in-law. They wanted justice for him. Pramod, her father, would also go on to say that she had used substances and also injections and that she wanted to live her life this way. And he was deeply embarrassed. He also said that Saurabh had tried to stop her from doing this, but she wouldn't listen. On the day of the crime, Muskan had called her mother, Kavita, and was talking to her on a video call, and Kavita would go on to say later on that Muskan was shaking, almost as if she was very scared and her hands were trembling. But at that time, Kavita had no idea what Muskan had just done. Apparently, that was the last call that Muskan did to her mother before she crossed a line. Another strange aspect to this case is that Muskan and Sahil did try to cover up their tracks when it came to Saurabh's body, but not when it came to everything else. Instead of going into hiding, they carelessly used their phones, posted their photos and videos on social media showing that they were together. Remember, this time everyone at Muskan's house was thinking that she was with her husband. Everyone at her husband's house were also thinking that they were together because Muskan was still texting them using Saurabh's phone. But at the same time, she was posting photos with Sahil. During the investigation, the police would also find Muskan's diary where she had written some very disturbing things. Further investigation showed that Muskan had been documenting her thoughts in a private diary and on her phone, things that she had never shared with her family. Her mother, Kavita Rastogi, said that Muskan had once said a statement which scared her. Quote, "If something happens to me, I have recorded everything in my phone." End quote. This made everything all the more scarier. Also, another thing is that just before the crime, Muskan had made a phone call, as I said, to her mother where she was shaking, and that time she had said 2 words which made her mother scared. Karam Pishachini. Her mother, who was then confused, asked her husband what it means. He explained that Karam Pishachni is associated with lower entities in occult practices. He said that this was quite scary coming from her. It is believed that Muskan was into occult practices. She was always described as a simple girl coming from a middle-class family who fell in love with Saurabh, got married, had a child, had the best life ever. No one could have predicted when or how everything changed. Was it Sahil whose sudden appearance got Muskan to change? Or was this always inside Muskan and she just wanted a chance to let it all out? Her parents would also go on to say that from the past 2 years, Muskan had been acting weird. At first, she started talking about Osho and his spiritual teachings, which her family found odd but not that scary. But over the past 8 to 9 months, her behavior became more and more disturbing. She began talking about occult practices and spoke about an entity called Karam Pishachni. This got her family even more scared. With Sahil and Muskan now behind bars, there are a lot of questions that police need answers for. Was Sahil the mastermind behind this crime? Did Muskan willingly participate, or was she the mastermind behind this plan? What role did the drugs play? Was it because they were doing drugs, or did something else have to do with it? And what role did black magic play? Was it Sahil's idea, or was it Muskan's idea? We know about the Snapchat messages, but overall, whose idea was it? Who came up with the idea? Now, talking about the drum, it was said that a local shopkeeper in the Jallikoti area of Meerut was the one who sold them the plastic drum. The drum cost them 1,100 rupees and it was purchased to store grain. During this entire time, it was said that Muskan was detached from reality. She was not ready to believe that what she did was wrong. At the same time, Sahil still believed that his mother supported him in this and that he was following what his mother asked him to do. Both accused are severe drug addicts and the police are saying that they are not happy in prison, which of course is said they are not happy in prison, but they have been begging the police to give them some substances because they are not able to survive without them.
से उनका इलाज किया जा रहा है, काउंसलिंग की जा रही है, योग मेडिटेशन ध्यान में.
Both of them had even begged to be put in the same cell, but they have been kept separate for now. More and more news reports are coming out saying that Muskan has been begging the police to provide her with some substances, and same is with Sahil. It is now up to the court, and only there we will get to know more details and finally what punishment will be provided. For now, this is all the details that is out. More and more are coming and I will be posting them as and when they come, but you have a base to the entire story now. I am deeply horrified with this case and I hope that justice is served and that Saurabh's family and Muskan's family find some sort of peace. If it weren't for Muskan's parents and Saurabh's brother who had been pushing the police, maybe this truth wouldn't have come to light. At the same time, if it weren't for Muskan and Sahil openly posting and sharing, maybe that too wouldn't have come to light. With this, we end this episode. I plan to cover more ongoing cases, so if there are any ongoing cases that you want me to cover, then please let me know. Until then, stay kind and stay safe out there.